I'm Doug from Global West, and I was going to take a minute here and talk to you about tubular lower control arms for 1964 through 66 Mustangs. We happen to have a set here, and the part number is a TBF-5. Let me show you some of the features about this tubular control arm. One of them is at the bushing area, we actually have a spherical bearing. It's a Teflon lined spherical bearing, so you don't have any squeaks or noises, plus you don't have to lubricate it. But it allows the control arm to move freely. There's no resistance. It can pitch around and do as necessary because of the brake reaction strut rod, which goes forward underneath the radiator. So this arm just doesn't necessarily go straight up and down. It actually has a slight pitch to it because of that strut rod. Now, this bearing system allows it to move freely, where rubber bushing would give you resistance to that movement. Now, one of the other things we have here is a replaceable lower ball joint. Now, this particular ball joint, it's a threaded-in style ball joint, plugs directly into your spindle. This little spacer here goes on top, so your spindle will sit in between here. The spacer will be underneath this nut right here. The nice thing about a replaceable ball joint is the original lower control arms for your car did not have a replaceable ball joint. You had to replace the entire control arm if the ball joint ever goes bad. So of course in our tubulars we want to make them serviceable. These ball joints are available anywhere in the country. This is not going to be a problem when eventually they do wear out. Now, one other feature we did is we came up with our own dust boot. A lot of the ball joints that are being shipped out nowadays, the rubber boot is not as good a quality as it was back in the 60s. And what we find is just the atmosphere alone is the boots are starting to crack, they deteriorate. So this is a problem with all the different manufacturers that we've tried. So we came up with our own ball joint boots. These actually index in the housing, and when the ball joint goes in, it is captured. So it keeps the water out, grease stays in, and there's a cavity in here so that as you fill the ball joint up with grease, there's a little bit of grease that surrounds it at all times. This is a new feature that is standard on our TBF-5s. So the TBF-5, it's a direct replacement. It goes to more than just the Mustang. It'll also fit Falcons and Rancheros and some other Ford products. It's an easy bolt-on. It's definitely performance, and it's serviceable. It's a good replacement over a stock lower control arm for your Mustang.